mower deck on it. But it's real iron, you know. The John Deere, I got the hood is all plastic on it, and it's just a piece of junk. But you know, I got a pretty good deal on it. It was like brand new and all that, and at the time it was, you know, it's got a good service life in it. So all the descriptions of the problem are pointed towards just the engine being somewhat defective by design, thin wall and all that. And the other gasket lip and all. But anyway, I'll get over to you, Perry, and I'm just going to sit back here and watch the listen to the other stations coming in here. So there's no real net control, but I guess we know what order we're in, right? Hi. Good to hear you in here, Frank and Perry. It's beautiful signals this morning. So, hey, whoever gets it, we'll send it right back out there. Send one SNG standing by for the old military radio net.
Sounds like a hornet's nest out there.
Yeah, somebody hit a home run.
Alright, let me,
Hey, there's a local guy. Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, you know, I'm just coming in to say good morning. I'm not even sure I'm going to be around for the net, but there's so many people I don't get to talk to that often in here. I just wanted to jump in and say good morning. Morning, Perry, Frank, Glenn, and everybody else out there that's hearing the sound of this mosquito's voice.
morning, Charlie. Yeah, good, I think somebody might be keyed up, I'm not sure. Good morning, Charlie. I'm going to take a standby as well. Good morning to Mac. Mac, maybe, I don't know if you're hearing me over the carrier, I don't know if, or over whoever. Good morning to you, Mac. I don't know if you want to pick up the guys down closer to you, Mac. You guys should go at it here for a few minutes before net time. But I'm going to take a standby myself, sip on some coffee. Good morning to you, Mac. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Dag. Good morning, Glenn. Good morning around the band. W4AX down to you, Mac. This is W3MMR. Stand by.
Victor Echo 3, lead by Yankee X-Ray.
Sorry, I'm having to use an SDR for a couple of boats. It's just not great propagation yet. We've got rain down here. Don't think we ever need thunderstorm. Thanks so much. And was there anyone else down in the United States that wanted to try to get on the list? I'll try to pick you up. Over. Okay, the only thing I got that time was KA3IWS. Good morning to you, Bob. And then, excuse me, then I know Kevin, WB0JZG was in there. So make a short one, Bob, and then Kevin can make a short one. It'll be time for Brown or Steve to pick it up. KA3IWS, W4AX. Goodbye.
South Carolina, so
All right, thank you, Bob. Kevin, make a short one, and then it'll probably be time for net control. WB0JZG, W4AX. I hear Bill in there, WA4BDH. Bill, go ahead, and then you can try to pass it back to Brown or Steve. Good morning, W4AX, Paul Brown. M1 NZR or KD3HT. Steve or Brown, you guys will pick up the net over.
Well, see if Brown shows up. He's up in Radio Island, so we'll have to hope that he wakes up. So anyway, I hear a number of people this morning. Charlie, it's been a while since I've heard you. And Bob, kH3IWS. Good to hear you, Mac. I heard Perry, W3MMR. Assuming Glenn's in there, because I think I heard his name, N1SNG. Bill, WA4DDH. Kevin, WB0JZG.
No, I'm not going to be on the list.
Anybody? Is Frank in there, Perry?
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm here.
Okay, figured that would be the case too. And am I missing anybody? Are there any other stations for the old military radio net this morning? This is KD3HT up in Northeast PA, calling the old military radio net. Calling the old military radio net. That meets weekly here on 3885 or thereabouts. At 0830 here, 5 a.m. Eastern time to discuss and foster and innovate and, I don't know, destroy, maintain, ridicule, whatever we can in association with old military radios. So you don't have to have a military radio to join. It's just a proper thing, I guess, but you don't need to. And anyway, that's why we're here. So is there anyone else that I didn't mention that I missed on the opening shot across the bow? Any other stations for the old military radio? I think it's Veterans Day. Is that right? So, and also, thank all the veterans out there for your service as well. Any other stations for the old military radio net, please call now. Okay, I got Yankee Joe, WA2EJT, and a Yankee X-ray. Yankee X-ray, I'm trying to, that's probably Don, LYX, is that correct, Don? Okay, I'll get the call correct. I have it above here. So I'll look at that once I find classes. And is there any other stations for the old military radio net? Please call now. Okay, that seems to be the opening crew here. So, good morning, everybody. Yeah, I expected Brown to be on this morning, but I guess he's probably sleeping in. He may show up and give us the benefit of hearing that those melodious tones. So let's see. For the list here, I have N1XZW, W3MMR, W2SDR, N1SNG. Let's see, W1AX, W4AX. Sorry, Mac. I'm reading without my glasses, so I really can't see it. KA3 LWS Bob, WB0JZ Kevin, WA4DDH Bill, WA2EJT Joe, and VE3LYX, Don, and then back to net control unless someone else jumps in there. So with that, why don't we kick off the round? So go ahead, Charlie. Good to hear you back on. N1XCW, KD3HT, in the old military radio net.
You there, Charlie?
And 1XCW, you there, Charlie?
Well, he went to go take care of a squirrel or get coffee or something, so go ahead. Go ahead, Perry. We'll try him next round, KD3HT.
All right. KD3HT in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Now that this thing's warming up, I'm trying to get it on freedom. All right, good morning to the net. Name here is Perry, for anybody that doesn't know. Located southeast Pennsylvania, Springfield, Pennsylvania. Here about 4 miles southeast of Philadelphia, here in Delaware County. I'm just running my DX100 this morning, listening on the National NC303. Run about 117 watts of carrier here this morning. And a little rough copy on the guys down south. Or what, I haven't pulled up any web SDRs or anything, but it does seem a little out locally this morning, so I'm having a rough time with some folks down there, but nevertheless, hopefully band conditions do improve. Steve, thanks for running the net. I'll stick in here for one more round after this, and really good to hear everyone here this morning. W2SDR, the old military radio net. This is W3MMR.
W3MMR and the old Milrad net, W2SDR. Good morning again, Perry. And too bad Charlie couldn't stick around. Got up this early to get on the break in the pre-net and then took off. Well, anyway, if you're listening, Charlie, good morning. We've been on in the evenings. At least I have, around dinner hour, on right here on 85. We had a good QSO last night, the night before. Some guys that haven't been on in a while, Artie, Brett, into DTS, and Perry. So come around and join us there. Anybody, a lot of you guys I don't hear unless it's the old Milrad net. So it's always good to hear everyone. This will be my one and done. 36 degrees here in Salem County, southern New Jersey. Hope everybody has a good day. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas, in case I forget to do it at the appropriate time. Get that out of the way. And so there you have it. So 7-3. Have a great weekend, everyone. Okay, up to you, Glenn. Sorry to hear about your ART-13. Hopefully it's something simple, maybe just a vacuum tube, and or maybe it's the carburetor, like, or the fuel pump, like with your tractor. Check that out. M1SNG and the old Milrad net, W2SDR, 7-3 alert.
Yeah, 7-3's Frank. Good to hear you in here. Just full quieting. Perry also just beautiful signals here this morning. All right, hopefully we'll catch up with you later and maybe stop by on the evening show and shake some hands there. That'll be very good. And yeah, I don't know, it's maybe a bad tube like you're saying there. Could be a few other things. It's not smoking or anything, but it's just it's calling for help. Yes, I can hear it calling. And yeah, the tractor. Well, that's another event. Yeah, so every 40 hours I got to put in the head gasket. I don't know how that's going to work out, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. It is what it is. Saves me a lot of work, and if it all else fails, we'll recycle it and look for something else. But yeah, just running the Ranger and the Thunderbolt this morning, non-military gear. Yep. And trying to just spend some time on the net here with whatever I got that's operational. And yeah, happy Veterans Day. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. But anyway, happy Veterans Day to all those that it applies, and just everyone who has respect for those who have served over the many years. So my flag's out front. Put those along the curb. Now we got about maybe 10 of them out there. And, you know, amongst the leaves and all that. And, you know, the Jeep's in the garage again. I think I might have to put closure to that until the good weather returns in the spring, or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. No radio projects here. I do need to do a cleanup here and start making some room. I just got too much stuff here. It's piling up. I don't know why, but I asked. We'll see how that works out, and maybe we'll have some other projects that are buried underneath all the debris. So good group. Everyone, you know, just fine. Some stronger than the others. This is, of course, got a large footprint here for check-ins this morning. Steve, thanks for running the net. And I imagine Brown is, he could be having a executive breakfast this morning, or he's cussing, trying to get the TDO or the what is it, the GPT 750 or the Meisner or whatever is left up there. I think you said he's residing on the island there, so hopefully we do hear from him one way or another. So with that, we'll get it over to W4AX. Go ahead, Mac.
Okay, thanks so much, Glenn. M1SNG W4AX. Hope you guys are copying. I'm on the oldest radio in my collection, 1934 BC 375, listening on a BC 348 with a BC 453 Q fiber. That's a lot of BCs, but I thought I'd be sure I was all military for Veterans Day. Thank you to all my brothers in arms who served in the military, who wrote a check, a blank check, when they joined the military for any amount, up until including death. So, a great appreciation to them. I've finished conversion of my Gates BC1T transmitter. Maybe I'll put that on the old military net. It's not military, but it does sound good. Moved it from 1400 kilohertz or kilocycles up to 3885 kilocycles, and it's working perfectly. Let's see, Glenn, just a thought. Sometimes on my ART-13, when I don't have a lot of power, if you just kind of rock a couple of those knobs, you know, that are protruding when you're keyed down, they make better contact, and you can get power. And I'll save you from opening it, but just a thought. All right, here comes Bob. KA3IWS, W4AX.
Okay, W4AX in the group, KA3IWS, and here's Bob. We're in Lexington, South Carolina, operating my P150 transmitter and listening on my Hamel and receiver. Four-way loop antenna, sitting out there in the rain, about 30 feet high. So that's the cool here. I'm not hearing much, so I'm not sure who even said for me to turn it to, was it 7 minutes? Yeah, I'm not sure who to turn it to. I think it was maybe W0JZG, but correct me if I'm wrong, which I am quite often. This is Kilo Alpha India Whiskey Sierra, over.
Yep, that was correct, Bob. Good morning. Go ahead, Kevin, if you hear me, WB0JZG. Then on to WA4DDH, WA2EJT, and VE3LYX, KD3HT. All right, I think I've sufficiently got it here. So we can see if the signal's getting out, and I'm putting some audio out. Good morning, everybody, on the old mill net. Running the 46250 transmitter here with the Homebrew solid state receiver. Working on the Super Senior paired up with the other Homebrew solid state receiver. I do have my R388 R288A or 51J4, whatever you want to call it. It's got all the 51J4 stuff in it running. It actually works real well. It still has an intermittent that I'm trying to find, and I can't. And when it's a gain drop, and the signal drops down, I know how to get it back instantaneously. So this is a clue, but boy, it's a very, very slim clue. But it sounds really good. It's stable. The PTO is working well. Maybe I can get it on the air as a receiver at some point here. Still be nice to find an old military transmitter to operate, but we don't have anything. You never know what shows up like this in various places. But at least I'm on the vacuum tubes right now. Although it's got my solid state component in it because it's all my home built stuff. I thought about sticking the R388 on top of the box, and I can listen to it with this transmitter. It'd be all vacuum tube. Anyway, I copy almost everybody just fine. Net control here a little weak, so I can keep listening to the web SDR, but you're in there, it's just not real good. But most everybody else is coming in just fine. So it goes over to WA4DDH. I hope you copy me this morning. This is WB0JZG, Kevin in Roy 24 up.
WB0JZG, Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Delta Hotel. Man, band conditions are really bad. So I don't know if you guys are hearing me. I'm on a Johnson Ranger this morning. So with that, we'll say 7-3s. I'll turn it over to WA2EJT. Make this from my in and out. Good morning, guys. Catch you next week. WA4, Delta Delta Hotel.
I heard you here, Bill. So good morning. Go ahead, Joe. WA2EJT, KD3HT.
Okay, Steve. This is WA2EJT. Yeah, I really couldn't copy very well. Let's see. Good morning to you, Steve, and appreciate your running things. Without you, this would not be much of a net. I didn't hear any unfamiliar calls on there. But this morning, running my actual military equipment, the AR-T13 BC-348 with a BC-946 Q-fiber and the BC-453 Q-fiber, both on the 348, an LM frequency meter, and a carbon microphone. Here I've been working on my now usual projects, both non-military, my Oh My Dummy antenna resistor project, and my new project of the early 1920s super het receiver that I'm researching at this point. And I'll leave it at that. And to VE3LY, and of course might need some help here. WA2EJT, over.
Okay, up to you, Don. VE3LYX, KD3HT, over. That was a good thump. Apply some audio. VE3LYX, VE3LYX. Go ahead, Don.
I think I forgot to pull a quick. Somebody told me or should I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I'm driving a whole amp, and hopefully that means it's hardwood and by design. So everybody have a great day, and thanks for letting me in. And maybe we'll get there quick. KD3HT and the old military radio net, VE3LYX.
Okay, Don, was able to copy most of that. And I think on the wireless set 19 again. And yeah, just has some, I try to use my sync detector on it, I can't because there's some phase modulation and the carrier shift a little bit, so it really doesn't sound good on the sync detector. But direct, I'm hearing you okay. And like I said, copied most of that. So very good morning to you, Don, up there in Canada. And let me just see if Charlie just.
Hear me, the band's not. But I'll say there, Brown, and just because you called on, I wasn't planning on, but that's okay. Back to
Charlie. Well, you know, we heard you, and it's been a while, so wanted to include you. So good morning, and good morning to everybody. I think I saw like 20 degrees here. I gotta check again. Nope, 30 degrees. I knew I wasn't that low. 30 degrees, and my wood fire didn't really, well, it did kick off, but it didn't kick off the big log last night. So a little cool downstairs, using the oil heat instead of wood heat for the second, but well, that happens. And this week, not a lot of military stuff accomplished, just kind of working and carrying on as usual. Did kind of snake some wiring around to get back to the BC610 and T368, although moving them out of their spots is going to be a little bit of work. And been collecting a bunch of newer parts for some test equipment to make. So yeah, that's what's been going on here. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Brown's up in Rhode Island. I'm not sure where in Rhode Island, but I know he's up there. But I suspect, I know that the GPT 750 was down with a burned up power resistor in the driver, and the TDO can be finicky getting on the air. So that's what he's gained. He also has a couple of other things up there, but I don't think they've run in quite some time. So we'll have to see if we hear him shortly. But other than that, it's been a beautiful week, and looking forward to another beautiful week. And hope everybody's good and It was good to hear you, Frank, 73, and you, Charlie, and Bill. Bob, doing okay up here? Kevin, I'm hearing you fine. Sorry you're not hearing me. Joe sounded good. Mac, good to hear you. It's been a while. Perry, hope everything's continuing well. And Glenn, we'll have to hear more about what are the symptoms with the ART-13. So, let's see. Are there any other stations wishing to join in with us? Please call the Walter Radio now. This is KD3HT.
Whiskey 1, Zulu Foxtrot Baker, W1ZFB, over.
Okay, I got you, Mike, W1ZFB, but I think there are two other stations in there that were a little bit low here. So I'll ask you to try again. The other two stations, please try again.
Victor Echo 2 Kilo Golf Kilo.
Victor Echo question mark Kilo Kilo. Try again.
Yeah, Victor Echo number 10. Victor Echo number 10. Kilowatt Golf Kilowatt. Victor Echo number 2. Kilo Germany Kilo.
Got it. Victor Echo 2 Kilo Germany Kilo. Thank you for joining. Any other stations for the old military radio net? Please call now.
KK4GZQ.
November 9, Whiskey, Quebec.
Okay, got you, Kevin, KK4GZQ. And W9 Whiskey, Quebec. There was one other station in there really low here, and I'm not detecting much audio. Does anybody have a relay on that other station, or have you heard another call? Over. Okay. Try again a couple times. I heard November 2, I believe. Can you try again? Okay, November 2, Quebec Foxtrot Kilowatt. Thank you for being patient. Don't have a huge signal here, so let's see. Anyone else for the old military radio net? Please call now. Okay, welcome to the new stations. A lot of calls are not as familiar. Perhaps you've checked in before and my memory is short. So, my name is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo. I'm located here in Northeast PA running an ART-13 and hearing all stations. So we will just keep it going here. So we're going to send it to Mike, W1ZFB, then to Victor Echo 2, Kilo Golf Kilo, over to Kevin, KK4GZQ. Is that right? Yes. Maybe? Yeah. And then I'm trying to remember W9W2. I know your name and it's just not coming to me. I apologize. It's 10 most likely. And then finally to N2QFX. And then we'll go up to the top of the list. W3MMR, N1SNG, W4AX, KA3IWS, WB0JZG, WA2EJT, and I think Don's going to be there for a second one, VE3LYX, and then back to net. So, with that, W1ZFB, Mike, go ahead, KD3HT.
Good morning, Steve, and the rest of the net. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Veterans Day to all those veterans that are on here. We had a Veterans Day celebration at the office last week, and it worked out fairly well. We had a ham radio station set up with other military people coming in. And maybe next year I will try to enlist some folks to come up with old military equipment. I might take my old military piece up there and try to get on the net here from there. So, but it all worked out really well last week. And anyway, I'm going to say go back to net control there. And wait a minute, I did copy this station. Victor Echo 2, Kilo Golf Kilo. And good morning to you, sir. Over.
Yeah, okay, very good. Good morning, everybody. The call sign is Victor Echo 2, Kilo Golf Kilo. Name here is Ken, and I am situated in eastern Quebec in the Gaspé Peninsula, way out east. So, good morning to everybody. I am running a Globe Scout, the Model 40A, Model 40A, and a Hammerlin HQ120 as a receiver. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for letting me in. Like I say, the name here is Ken. You guys are running 40 watts, Roger?
Okay, Ken, nice to have you. 40 watts is doing okay. Go ahead, Kevin, KK4GZQ in the old military radio net, KD3HT.
Okay, Steve. I was copying the Victor Echo 2 station. I'm sorry I didn't get the whole call, but I was actually getting a faint copy on him here with 40 watts. KD3HT with the old military radio net from KK4GZQ. Good morning, all, with the net all the way around. I've been listening here for a little bit to the pre-net on another setup I've got in the den, and I've heard you, Steve, a good copy here. Bob down in Darlington of IWS, Bob over in Lexington, South Carolina, Perry and Glenn and Frank and Charlie and several of the others. Mac, good morning to you. I know you were in there a little earlier. And just some good signals and good net this morning. I'm running the BC610G 1949 model, 614 speech amp with an R392 receiver out to a full wave loop coaxial front at about 55 feet. And I want to thank all of the veterans here on Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. And finally, we're about 37 degrees here in Kentucky this morning, expecting a high of about 56 and sunny. So with that, let me send it over to W9WQ. Steve, thanks for running the net, and everybody, good AM out here this morning. Glad to be a part of it. W9WQ to take it. This is KK4GZQ near Lexington, Kentucky. Over.
KK4GZQ in the group N9WQ, November 9, Whiskey, Quebec. Name is Dave. Like diamonds are very expensive. And we are running the SCR 399 this morning, which is the BC610E. The BC614E speech amplifier, the BC342N receiver, which is paired to the 344D, and I'm also using a D104, and I have the 322 speech amplifier, the antenna tuner up on top of the rig as well. So it's a complete SCR 299 or 399, depending upon whether it's mobile or not. Anyway, the name is Dave. The call's November 9, Whiskey, Quebec. 25 degrees up here in sunny, beautiful downtown North Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. The signals are good today. Hearing everybody, and thanks for getting me in here. And again, like GZQ pointed out, I hope everybody that's a veteran knows that we appreciate and love their service. So
back to the next station. I didn't know who I was sending it to. This is N9WQ. And Santa Monica, downtown, North Carolina. Over.
Okay, very good, Dave. We'll pick up November 2, Quebec Fox X-Ray, N2QFX. Please go ahead, sir. And then you can turn it to W3MMR when you're complete. So, N2QFX, KD3HT. Okay, Tom, very good on the 20 watts with a 150-foot wire in central New Jersey. And welcome, glad to have you, Tom. I heard you clear, so that was good. I'm probably not too far away in Poconos here, so maybe I'm the closest to you, but Perry should be pretty close too. He's down there south of Philly, but he's got more noise than I do. So good to have you, Tom. Over to you, Perry, W3MMR in the old military radio net, KD3HT.
All right. KD3HT in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Okay, Steve. Just trying to, hold on a second here. To make sure. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Man, a little bit of a rough copy. Yeah, I didn't have a good copy there. I do have a lot of local noise this morning. It's almost about 10 over S9. It's pretty loud here this morning, so there's been days here at the new QTH where it's been really quiet, other days where it's just loud. Some neighborly noise, I think some power line noise. I battled noise at my last QTH with, luckily I had really good neighbors where they were able to work with me. I bought television. I bought a new television for my one neighbor. Multiple switching power supplies that were replaced in other neighbors' homes. I just, where I'm at right now, I don't want to knock on any doors. So I'm going to leave it like it is for a while, and if I can do most of my operating without knocking on anybody's doors, I'm just going to leave it that way. So, nevertheless, Steve, thanks for running the net, man. You're bombing in here, Steve, really. Good signal here this morning. Well above my loud locale, that's for sure. And so, unfortunately, I wasn't able to hear the guys down south. Not sure if they're hearing me. So, hope everybody has a great weekend. This will be my final. We'll be listening out for a while, but really good to hear everyone here this morning. Happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans. I hope you guys have a good weekend. And I hope everybody else has a good weekend there as well. So, we'll catch you boys later. Look for you next week. Again, Steve, 2 thumbs up, man. Kicking ass and taking names. Running the net, man, for sure. So, we'll be listening out here for a while. And up to you, Glenn. Good to hear you this morning. And Brian, good morning if you're listening. Up in Rhode Island at some way, shape, or form. N1SNG in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. See you guys.
Yeah, W3MMR N1SNG. Very nice signal this morning. Very near full quieting here. And hopefully we'll catch up with you sooner or later there. And have a happy veterans and have a safe day there. Yep, and on the noise, yeah, I've made contact with the utilities, and there's a work order in, so we'll see what takes place in the next week or two, and hopefully they can maybe neuter some of what's going on here. So, yep, that's what happens sometimes. You just things encroach on your like an invasion of privacy with noise. Yep. And Steve, on the air at T13, Yeah, the last time I used it, it did work quite well. And this morning, everything's hooked up. Batteries are right up to where they're supposed to be. I recovered the batteries, but there was no antenna current this morning. No antenna current at all. SDR was, SWR, yep, was, right around 3 on the meter. It was in the red zone, but just no real indication of antenna current. Really sounded like there might be something going on with the tube or whatever. So I went in and I'm on the Thunderbolt this morning with the Ranger. So the antenna's working just fine. But something internal to the ART-13 is has the power. It has the dynamo that just kicks right over in a snap, no problem at all there. So we're going to have to play that one by ear, and hopefully we can look into that as far as some maybe up the deck. Other than that, we might have to do a little bit more, but no smoke, pops, crackles, or any type of smells coming out of the beast. But anyway, if these things didn't happen, we wouldn't have any fun. Yes, we wouldn't learn. We just actual conditions, in-field repairs. It's just something that we have to do with the older gear once in a while. Just kind of help it along a little bit with what we know and know how the community contributes to whatever ails the beast, yes. But anyway, I'm going to be one and done here. Well, I'll be leaving for an appointment this morning, so I'm going to start on that. So I'm going to back away. I'll listen a bit here, and pretty decent signals all the way around. Quite an audience out there, quite a lineup there. Great job, Steve, for running the net. Thanks, and Brown, if you're listening also. It takes the team, to make it happen. So with that, I think it's going to grow. It's a Mac W4 AX from N1SNG. Happy Veterans Day.
Sorry I've been away. It's been a combination of a lot of Saturdays. This event on the way in, for example, was the Stone Mountain Ham Fest, which is here this year. It wasn't a lot of gear and there, but gear. There wasn't a lot of gear in modern condition. I didn't see her more probably than that. I could. So I don't know if that's core of the Ham Fest down here, and you guys are seeing that equipment dry up there as well. I did get a 610. As you know, it runs link on a 610. Final world is at ground. And there will be a short there too. Old military radio and friends. It's always good to hear you guys. I do appreciate it. Here comes my 383 IWS W4AX, Battleground, Georgia, 73.
4AX in the military radio group. This is copy pretty good. Really different today, but we enjoy it. It's good old AM and some good old AM operators. This is the real deal when it comes to amateur radio, as far as I'm concerned. WB0JZG, this is KA3IWS.
Alrighty. KA3IWS, WB0JZG. Got a good signal in here today. And Mac, you actually pegged the S-meter on my homebrew solid state receiver. So your signal is radiating very, very strongly. And I think it takes somewhere 50 to 100,000 microvolt range to peg that meter. So, at least on my end, propagation from you is really, really strong. And KD3HT, Steve, I believe I got the call right. I am copying you now. Your signal is better. It's noise. I've heard you string before, but I do copy, which is good, and I think you can copy me. And you know, I just realized, and Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. My dad, 93 years old, is a veteran of the Korean War. He's doing well. He's staying in Texas with my sister. For most of the cold winter, he recently had an issue in his colon with I don't know, polyps that turned blood vessels that broke, and he had bleeding going on. They had to fix him, which they did. So that kind of knocked him down a little bit, but he's doing all right, and he's down there with them and recovering, getting back to normal. Still very active and very independent. I'm proud of that. I'm halfway at 93. And I finally realized, I keep thinking, what am I going to put on the air that could qualify as military? Well, KWS-1 was pressed into service with a special model, which I do not have. Bob KN4HH actually had one for the early NORAD or whatever it is, Strategic Air Command, whatever it was. And I think I heard, I may be mistaken, sometimes I get confused while the articles I read, that they actually had some of those, an airplane running off of special supplies or something, but I know they used it in service. And it's sitting there waiting for me to get around to it. The first thing I'm doing is getting this R388 sorted out, and I want to get that done. I don't know if I'm going to keep the 7583 that I have, so I'm going to go very early serial number. I'm trying to get the Super Senior sorted out where I can maybe use it over for Pierce for AM, so I can talk to the early morning gang when I'm over there, and they ought to hear me real well. That kind of works very good, broad in the south. And this one does work good up in the far northeast and areas like that. I've succeeded there. And at least putting a signal up into New England and, kind of the up East Coast. So, and up into even Kentucky and those places. So, yeah, I've got to get the KWS-1 on the air, and I can actually run something that could be considered a military type on the 75A4. Don't know what it's going to take. It's RLO. It's in decent shape. It's just, a lot of old capacitors and stuff. And I know there's a bunch of work I will have to do in the power supply to make sure that I don't get arcing in the transformers, which I've read many articles as a problem with those things. So there are some preventive measures that have already been taken, things I need to do. So I think I turn it to WA3JT because I think BH took off. And if I'm wrong, you guys can straighten it out. But I think that's what I heard, so I made sure to make note of it. WA3EJT says license expired and here is one more patent. Interesting. WA3EJT, WB0JZG.
B0JZG. This is WA2EJT. Marginal copy, but got some of that. And conditions are kind of noisy here, but I am copying most stations. I did want to say hello to the station in New Jersey running 20 watts. I couldn't hear him, but maybe he's copying me. My name is Joe, located in upstate New York, running an AAT13 with a BC348 and a couple of command receiver Q5ers, and also to the station, the VE2. I don't have the whole call in Eastern Quebec running 40 watts. Reasonably good copy here, and hello and welcome to the old military net. My radio activity has been non-military. I've been investigating early 1920s issues of the Radio News magazine, looking for advertisements for a company that was in business just for a couple of years. The guy who ran the company was the one who built the mystery super heterodyne receiver that I'm looking into. That investigation. Let's see, it's 10 minutes to 6, so I know I'll be here for one more round, Steve, but as usual, I'll be leaving at 06:30. So, I'm turning it Victor Echo 3 LYX. This is W8 and on a wireless set 19, I think. I hope maybe this round I'll hear him. V3LYX, WA2EJT, over.
Don, are you still there? VE3LYX, VE3LYX, KD3HT, over. Checked out. Yeah, he was running the wireless set 19, and he's up on the other side of Lake, the northeast side of Lake Ontario, and I'm forgetting the island name that he's on. But all right, over to you, Mike. Well, at that point, actually, that was the last call of the round, so I guess I should check and see if anyone else is there. Glenn, 73 to you. It was good hearing you on this morning. 73 to you, Perry. I'm not sure if Perry's still there or not. Mac said he was checking out. So 73 to you, Mac. You had a good signal here. I know you're still listening. And good luck. I guess you said you got the BC610 functioning again. And yeah, I can see where that circuit, I mean, it's really got a lot of variables in there with the temperature of the metal and everything else for that kick-out circuit, but I don't know. I don't even know if it's really worth having. But at this point, I guess you got to keep it. And so there we go. And I'll check out Don as well. So good to hear everybody. Nice to make your acquaintance, Ken. Up in eastern Quebec. Ken's call for everybody was Victor Echo 2 Kilo Golf Kilo, and he was running a Globe Scout 40 and listening on an HQ 120 up in eastern Quebec, and everybody probably heard Kevin, and then Dave N9WQ on his SCR 399, and Tom is the call. Tom is the name. N2QFK, Quebec Fox Kilo, and I didn't get a location other than Central Jersey, but 20 watts, and like I said, Tom, I heard you here, so you're doing okay. So let's see, at this time, are there any other stations willing and wishing and whatever to join the old military radio net? Please call now. It's KD3HT. Okay, silence. All right, we'll pick it up again. Mike, very good. Hope the parade went well. And sounding good here on the ART-13. So we'll start with you, W1ZFB, and then up to Ken, Victor Echo 2, King Golf King, to Kevin, KK4GZQ, Dave, N9WQ, to Tom, N2QFK, and then we'll try Perry, but I think Perry checked out, but we'll try him anyway, W3MMR, down to Bob, KA3IWS, to Kevin, WB0JZG, to Joe, WA2EJT, and we'll check for more check-ins at that time. So, Mike, W1ZFB, go ahead, KD3HT.
Okay, Steve, thank you. W1ZFB returning, and we're running, of course, the ART-13 and the BC348 with an inverted V sort of right now, and got to fix that a little bit. But anyway, I'm hearing signals fairly well this morning. I did hear Ken up there in Canada there, VE2KGK. That's the first time I've heard him. So, but most signals are coming in rather well. I heard the Kentucky station, and I believe there's a Wisconsin station in there too. So good to hear all those good signals. Band seems to be in fairly good shape, so that's a good thing. And yeah, I'm going to kind of look around, Steve, to see if I can't find something a little more portable that I can take up to the Veterans Day celebration next year that maybe I can get on. And we wanted to contact several ships for Veterans Day, but I think we managed to get the USS Cod, but that was about it. So maybe we can work on that next year. Anyway, I'm going to say 73s on this one. Weather's going to be good today, so I got some outside projects to do. 73s all the way around. Good to talk to everybody. And again, happy Veterans Day to all. And let's see, it goes over to Ken, VE2KGK, W1ZFB in the old military radio net, over.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for the comments. Yeah, like I said, I'm running 40 watts with the Globe Scout, and the antenna is a double extended zap, 329 feet long. 329 feet long, double extended zap for the antenna on 160 and 80. So there we go. Thank you, all of you, and thanks for your service for the militaries, and have a great day. Thanks for letting me in here this morning. Name here is Ken, and thank you very much. Victor Echo 2, kilowatt, Germany, kilowatt, 7
73, Ken. Go ahead, Kevin.
Does it come to me, Steve?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, band's starting to change just a little bit, Steve. I've got just a little less copy on you, and I didn't hear the turn, but I appreciate you guys getting it down to me. KD3HT with your military radio net, KK4GZQ. And listening along here, copied a few more stations that came in. Mac, good morning to you again. Kevin, WB0JZG, good copy from you coming from Florida this morning. So, Steve, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I've gotten myself interested in a Flex 3000 project here. I've got a problem with the software. I finally this morning have decided to go ahead and dig into it. So, and really good to hear Dave W9WQ with the complete 610. Well, it's not called a 610 station, but all the accessories and so forth that go with the setup, Dave. Sounds great down here. Steve, thank you again for running the net. Everybody have a great weekend and good AM to all of you. W9WQ to take it, KK4GZQ. Good morning, Dave.
Well, good morning, right back at you, big boy. KK4GZQ in the group. This is N9WQ, number 9, Wisconsin Q, so N9WQ. And again, my name is Dave. Like diamonds are very expensive, unless, of course, you're at the end of your relationship, and then it's divorces are very expensive. Hi. I'm sitting here recovering from a surgery I had on Tuesday. Had to have one of the boys worked on. The doctor said that having one boy bigger than the other boy isn't a good thing, so they had to get out the grinder and the Bondo, a little bit of fiberglass, some duct tape, and now I'm sitting on a bag of frozen peas, boys, I'm telling you. Mind your boys, that's all I can tell you. So that's my dilemma right now, and yeah, the nomenclature for this station is SCR 299 when it's in the fixed position, and when it's in a mobile truck with a generator on the back, it's defined as an SCR 399. But I have everything here. The only part of this station that I do not have is the JB13, which is the junction box. And believe it or not, you can accomplish that junction box with a relay. I got a little relay plugged into the JB70 spot. I thought I said JB13, but it's the JB70. I've got a plug into the JB70 down to a relay, and that relay does everything that JB70 does. Otherwise, I've got both the reavers, the 344D, the 342N, which is what I'm on now. The 3D is a low end. This one comes down to about maybe a little bit lower than where I'm at right now, about 3 meg, and the other one goes all the way down to, I think, 500 hertz. In case you want to listen to the submarines or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm using a BC614E speech amplifier and a D104. I do have the candlestick desk mic for this station, but she's in pretty rough condition. And the bake light, I'm afraid it's going to break and crack and fall apart, and I don't want to deal with all that. It looks pretty cool sitting up there, so we'll leave it there. So, again, I neglected to write down the station who I'm going to give this to, but you know who you are. I'm pretty confident at this point in the game that when I say go into the next station, you're going to know who you are, and you're going to pick up the energy and throw her in the air. So, again, good morning, and thank you to all the veterans that served and saved this shit show that we call a country so far. Appreciated it. And a prayer to all of the families and fallen soldiers all over the world, every veteran everywhere. So, anyway, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Yeah, you heard me right. Wisconsin, 70 miles south of Green Bay.
K. Much of that touch, it depends on that. You can do right now. That rig doesn't. It doesn't sound like it's modulating really well, and more modulation will always help on a lower signal, of course, not over-modulating. But that's always the problem on AM, is that you'll hear the carrier but not the audio. And that's the first thing to go on our signals in the distance. So I can understand with Kevin not hearing me down in Florida. And this radio does have a lot of audio, but I'm not running a compressor, which would help. All right, let's go to the top. I think, Perry, I'm not sure if you're still there or not. W3MMR, are you still there? KD3HT. I got you, Paul. You're down about 3880, so you want to come up a little bit. And we'll go to the next station then. So, Bob, KA3IWS down to WB0JZG to WA2EJT, and then back to net control, KD3HT here. So Go ahead, Bob, KD3HT.
KA3IWS. Well, very good there, Steve, and your signal came up a little bit. I can hear you now. It's kind of rough not to be able to hear the next control, but good copy in there on a lot of signals. Kevin, you're loud in here. Both Kevin, and I guess Mac is gone, but he was probably the loudest. This is Bob in Lexington, my Q150, and my full-wave loop antenna. By the way, Kevin, your full-wave loop sounds as good here as any dipole you ever had up, so much for being a cloud burner. But anyway, back to the, I guess over to Kevin. I'm going to say good morning at 73. Enjoyed it. WB0JZD KA3IWS.
All righty. Well, good morning to you and everyone else on the net. Oops, I better mute that remote receiver. Some of the guys' signals are getting a little weak here, and I can see on Thursday by Chicago Lake that my signal is getting out okay, and it definitely has some better audio than I used to have. I don't close talk this mic anymore, which I have learned on SM58 you don't want to close talk unless you're a vocalist, and then it's okay, depending on how you want to sound. Anyway, but it's been a pretty good net this morning. Band's going to start dying here pretty soon as the sun comes up. For some reason, my connection to lightningmaps.org failed. Now that I have trouble that I like to turn that on to see where all the lightning is coming from, because I am getting a little bit of that today. A little bit more than on other days. Oh, come on. I'm sitting here in my easy chair with my laptop perched up, and I think my belly sometimes, which is actually pretty small, collapsed under the keypad, and that thing is sensitive to that, and messes up the way it works. So anyway, all right, well, maybe one of these days I'll have the KWS one on the air if I can keep it running. I know they're a tough rig to work on, but it's on the list. It's planned. And, maybe it'll work good enough. I mean, it's only going to be 150 watts or so of carrier output with one sideband. But, Collins claimed if you listen to it on a narrow receiver, you'd have the same amount of audio signal as a kilowatt transmitter. I don't know if I believe that or not. A potential solution to have something in the air. So over to I got the 3 in there. It's not really Florida so damn good. Some days I said, gee, Kevin, it'll like one. Hey, go ahead.
Okay, Steve. On the left. See, just a couple of comments. It was great to hear N9WQ's description of his SCR 299 and 399 stuff. Always great to hear that. The station N2QFK from New Jersey, I could hear weak carrier, but no actual copy at all. I couldn't hear any audio, and I think you referred to that, Steve. Well, let's see. I haven't been doing a lot of radio work because of outside chores here, but the leaf situation is pretty well finished now, and that'll give me some more time. I have another antique radio project to work on, a radio RADA or RC, 1921 regenerative receiver. Needs a little attention, and well, I might start getting to that today. Okay, well, I'm going to turn it back to you, Steve, because last round I was at the end of the list and I didn't think to note who if anybody is following me at this point. KD3HT, let's see, I should be here for another round, Steve. KD3HT, WA2EJT, over.
Yeah, very. You're sounding nice and strong down here. So very good on the another project from the 20s, and yeah, I have the same projects. Too many at one time. But I did actually do some. Tried to do some antenna work. Last week I did separate 3 beams that were on the ground with tall grass growing on them, and I want to get one of the tri-banders up on the tower. I had a work band beam and 2 tri-banders, and I got 2 towers. Actually I have 3 towers, but 2 of them are kind of bare. One's got a 6-meter antenna, the other one's got a Wark dipole on it, so I need to put the tri-banders up. And but you know, I'm still a little cautious about getting myself in a situation where I'm going to run out of wind in my lungs. So I may try that today. The temperature's right for climbing towers. It's not too hot, not too cold, and if it's not windy, although this tower's not that tall anyway, wouldn't be a bad day to do it. And Kevin on the KWS-1, you know, I've never played with one, but I've seen many of them. Brown has numerous examples, and you know, I've heard them and probably worked them on AM, and they do sound okay. Just like anybody with AME, you know, it works okay. It's just a little bit narrower bandwidth, but it gets through. That's the important thing. But you're sounding good here. Yeah, the audio does sound more natured, more full-bodied, and I didn't know you were running a 58 there. And yeah, that gets, even though it's not dynamic, it gets pretty boomy and bassy when you talk close to it. So very good on that. It does sound good. It does sound like you're fighting a cold or something. A lot of people are at this point in the year. Let's see, so 73 to you, Glenn, and let's see, who else did we, Mike checked out, W1ZFB, 73 to you, Ken, join us again. It was great hearing you from Quebec. Kevin, always a good signal, and I haven't had my flex on for quite some time. It does need to be cycled, but I don't know if I have a long enough cord. I don't know which computer here I have the FireWire card in. I think there's a FireWire card in both of them, but I have to try that and hook it up to an amplifier and let it go. Yeah, I have an email is acting on me. It's a keying issue, or I have a bad transformer. I do have extras, but it's just a matter of getting to it, as other people have said. But I don't have the JB70 either, and I've thought about picking one. I think I might have access to a finger brake, so if I get some steel, I can actually make a steel box. And I started collecting the parts for JB70, and yeah, it is just really one, you know, for the purposes of using the 610, you really don't even need it, but it does complete the station. I do have one of the chests from the SCR 399. I have the CH121, I believe, which is the chest closest to the door that uses a BC342, and that one doesn't have the modulator in it or anything. It's just the receiver with the phone and all that. I do have that chest downstairs, and I haven't tried that receiver, and I do have other components for it, replacement components, but it's just a matter of having the room to set it up. I am missing the legs for the chest, but I do have the chest. So, and I always wanted to make the CH120 chest that has the BC312 and the JB70, the 314, 614 speech amp, and get that all together. But you're right, unless you have the generator, the interconnect box there isn't really that important. But you don't see the furniture come up often for that stuff. There was somebody selling the coil out here a couple years ago, and I let it go. But you have everywhere's packed. That stuff happens. And so, and let's see here. Let's see. Are there any besides? Please call now. Morning. Very quiet morning. That there were some sun activity, so that could also be hampering some of the communications quality. Although I've heard everybody pretty well this morning. Tom, your signal did drop off a little bit here, but that could be cyclic and it could come right back up next time. So let's start with you, Paul, WGTX, and then I'll do another call and see if anybody's around.
My race car ended up falling into the same category bulletin issued from Mazda. I ended up having to buy another car, so I ended up buying 2 new cars yesterday, trading them in. But it's just really good stuff to be doing, especially when my cars are ready to get paid off. But, I'm listening on the R390. I'll update people on this. I got a 290-foot magnet loop antenna up in the trees, about 40-something, 45, 50 feet, somewhere around there. So it does all right. I've been copying everybody quite well. I got a copy out in Wisconsin, down in Kentucky, you guys. I don't know about that. I'll send it back to you, Steve. So KD3HT and the old military radio net is W1GTX.
Okay, Paul, sorry to hear. We had an honor here. I've had a 262 was, but I mean they're good cars. The RX, nobody knew how to work on a. It's 30,000 miles, and we didn't know it was a new engine, and there were probably some bad connections. But I had replaced an oil pump in that, and but the oil pump's on the outside of the engine. It squirts oil in around the cylinder as the rotor, goes around the cylinder. It would squirt oil in. And it was a fun car to drive, really was. My son just picked another one up that has all parts, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's why I drive old cars. I buy something old and keep it going basically, because and even old cars anymore, 2000, they're old, and they have plenty of problems with that, basically aluminum to cast or something like that, always causing problems with the waterways and cracked heads and everything else. Sorry to hear that. But it's good exercise to bend over that stuff so that your back's in shape to move these heavy objects called old military radios. And you're sounding good on the RT-13 this morning. I think that's what you're on. I hear the dynamotor proudly behind you. Good audio, so sounding real good. Any other stations for the old military radio net? Please call now.
Good morning. This is kilowatt, 1 kilowatt.
Okay, got you, Dean. There was another station. Again, please.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. This is NE1S.
Okay, KK1K, NE1S. Let's start with that. And after you, Paul, if you don't mind, you can turn it to goes right to Joe, actually, WA2EJT. No. Go to Dave, N9MQ. We'll try Tom again. N2QFK, and then we'll go to Joe. So there's only a few of us left here this morning. So good to hear you, Larry. Good to hear you, Dean. Go ahead, Dean. KK1K and the old military radio net, KD3HT.
Okay, good morning, Steve, KD3HT. And the MILRAD net, this is KK1K. Well, you're coming in gangbusters. Paul was also coming in nice. Hello. Yeah, so all sorts of they're on and around his signal. I don't know what that was, but he had a lot of signal here. We're running the ART-13 this morning, listening on the ST600. And I haven't looked at the thermometer, but I guess I'm assuming it's somewhere in the 40s. And yesterday was a little bit warmer. It wasn't below freezing, but it was a kind of a day. So good days to be inside and working on the infinite list of radio projects. So with that, let me shoot it over to Larry. Larry, very nice signal this morning. Good morning to you, NE1S. This is KK1K and the MILRAD net. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Dean. KK1K and the old military radio net in E1S. Looking at my mod monitor here, I think I might have to hear everybody. I know what you mean about Dean. And to work on, so I don't have a lot to add. Came down here a little, but good morning and thanks. Turn it to N9 Abe. If you copy, is NE1S in Ossipee, New Hampshire.
W2ILA.
Hey Tom, why don't you take it and then turn it to N9WQ. Tom, go ahead.
You okay, everyone? Good copy. I've only been down here to hear you, Steve, Dean, signals from everybody this morning. I'm rushing on this Veterans Day weekend. So conditions sound quite good. So try for the N9, and I'm sorry, Steve, I think it was MQ, but correct me if I'm wrong. N9MQ W2ILA.
Let's see if Dave's still there. N9, go ahead, KD3HT. Alright, hearing nothing. I'm going to give it to Joe, give him a chance to get in there. WA2EJT, Joe, go ahead.
Okay, Steve, this is WA2EJT. Hello and good morning to Dean and Larry, both very loud here. And let's see, I did want to comment that call on the ARG-13 with Dynamotor competing pretty strongly with your audio. The Dynamotor line was very loud here, but great to hear that ARG-13, and I know, Dean, that's what you're running. And you're very loud here. Excellent path between us this morning. And time for me to get out of here. And thank you again, Steve, for running things and keeping things in order here. I appreciate that. I know everyone else does too. And great to get on here and hear all the military stuff and to exercise my military stuff. So I'll leave it there. I'm going to listen for about 3 more minutes and then I'll be off and on my way. So back to you, Steve. 83HT, WA2EJT, clear and listening.
Okay, Joe. Good to hear you as always, and keep them projects going. Have a great week up there. And Kevin, down to you, WB0JZG, KD3HT.
KD3HT, WB0JZG. Incidentally, SM58 is a dynamic microphone, and it actually is a pretty good mic, and I just have to learn how to make it cooperate better. I will be getting the superheater back on the air. Hopefully it'll be stable. Although on this net, I like to use this transmitter, and I've been doing a lot of studying and reading on the KWS-1. I do need to get it working. My whole purpose running one when I was a kid, you'll have those things. And the other thing is, the receiver I had, according to the serial number, was made very, very close to my data birth. As was the transmitter. That's because as old as I am. I figure Ed and I are going to eat together and keep us both going. And so that's kind of sort of what I've always kind of wanted, have that. So we'll get it running. It works well. It does work. It was decent fun, but nothing really bad. But it needs just a little maintenance and cleaning and, check your circuit updates, even for the guys and whatnot. But it's fun. KWS-1, I don't know, it's been sitting around for a long time. It's normal, it's only out for a while, the power supply, and I think I can buy an appropriate style lock system. In fact, I may have one laying around to put that back in, because I want that back on there. I'm going to leave things, essentially stock. I think I've got 3D28 rectifiers for it, I know they can be temperamental, but I know I can put some solid state substitute power supply for that if I need to. I'll probably have to put a 220 volt outlet out on my front porch to run it. It's kind of warm here today. It's in the low 70s, looking at the thermometer, 71 or 2. It's there in the 50s, and 60 degrees in the morning for up until today. So it's a bit windy this morning, which it makes it more sweaty. So that's okay. When it's really, really cold, my modulator blows out more air that helps. So anyway, I will turn it. JZG7, please, from Lakeland, Florida.
73, good to have you always. And yeah, it's, just be careful. There's a bit of voltage in that thing, and but you're used to working around that. But they do require to keep them going. All right, let's see here.
Bull UA1 Henry, YLR.
All right, I got you, Tim. Who's the check-in?
Whiskey Bravo 2 Hotel Japan Kilo. Good morning to all.
Okay, got you, George, and Timmy. All right, so let's start here then. Top of the list is all done. Everybody's gone. So just do some admin here, guys. So Dave and those guys weren't there, so they're gone. All right, let's start with Paul, W1GTX. We'll go over to Dean, KK1K, Larry, NE1S, Tom, W2ILA, pick up George, WB2HJK, and Tim, WA2HLR, and then we'll see if anyone else is there. Go ahead, Paul. And no, really good audio on that thing today. W1GTX, KD3HT.
All right, here we go. Let's see if I can do a couple of adjustments. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I can see it on the thing here. Where are we? Yeah, who knows? It is what it is. It's probably coming from the liner motor. I should ground it to the transmitter. Probably help a lot. But hey, it's spinning away. Not bad for the first generation dyno motor for this thing. Yeah, it's the ART13B with the crystal oscillator in it. Of course, you guys know that. Yeah, no, it was kind of like the whole car situation just put a real damper on it, and where her car was her VIN was in the same realm of it. I was just like, I'm not going to take the chance, so we just said, screw it, just traded in. It ain't worth it. I mean, the car only had 36,000 miles on it, but I didn't want to take the chance of having the thing fail. It was out of warranty anyway, so. But it is what it is. I don't have to deal with it no more. So now I got the new cars got 6-year, 100,000 mile warranties on them, or 7 years, somewhere around there. It's up there. So, not that I wanted to stop paying for cars, but I don't know. They'll be paid off by the time I retire. So, let's see. Yeah, no, I got to get around to cleaning this mess up down here. Put some stuff in the rack. I get the SP600 EKG dropped off to me. So I got to get that up in the rack and then get that stuff all situated. Just got so many projects here other than radio. Like, it's hard for me to get on with the radio stuff, and I'm trying to get all my outside projects done before the winter hits. So they're dwindling away. I only got a little bit left to do, and then I can not have to worry about it as much. So I think today's is I got to clean the chimney out to get ready to stop burning the wood stove, and then I'll be good. So we're plugging along. I see we're going KK1K from W1GTX on the old military radio net.
Okay, good morning, Paul. Yeah, the dyno motor noise there is pretty strong. It doesn't seem to be as strong as it was on the last round. So whatever you're jiggling there, it's making a difference. This is KK1K, Dean in Milton, just north of Burlington, Vermont. And Steve, I'm going to jump out of here, but thanks for picking up the net this morning. Hope all is well with you and your gang down there. And we are, for Larry, just about to start making a little space on top of the table here to bring out my Hartley oscillator ready to run. He's done mine about the frequencies for the BK event, whether you could be on 40 to 70, 60, or 70, 120. They're like two different risks, but I heard somebody say the higher frequency was for the first weekend and the lower frequency for the second weekend. I didn't understand that. So, Larry, if you understand how that fits together, I'd appreciate knowing that. Anyhow, Good morning to all. Thanks again for net control activities, Steve. And anyone has to take it with the MILRAD net. This is KK1K. KK1K.
KK1K in the old military radio net, NE1S. Okay, good morning, Tim. And Tom. And George, and anybody else who checked in since my last transmission. Yeah, I was going to mention the Bruce Kelly coming up tonight, starting at 6 p.m. local time. I plan on being in there. And as far as the 40-meter frequencies, I haven't really read up on it. I heard on the groups.io group people mentioning about it, the recommended frequencies, and they're just recommended frequencies, being different on 40 meters between the two weekends because of some contest or something. But I always have much better luck above 7100. It seems to be less congested up there than down in the lower part of the band. But I'll just go in there and see where I can find folks, you know. Tune both part of the bands, and if I hear an AWA station, I'll call them and work them. So I hope you get on, Dean. I'd love to QSO you on at least one band. And be making a trip back to Maine today, but I'll be back by 6. Have a jam session in Saco, Maine to go to. Do that about once a month. So, what else? I'm sorry, I forgot who I was supposed to turn it to. Was it Tom, W2ILA? Is that correct, Steve? I'll toss it back to you. KD3HT and the old military radio net, NE1S.
Yes, it was. And when you get a chance, what flavor jam are you doing? Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Everybody's doing really well. Band's nice this morning. Good morning to Tim and George in here as well. Larry, I haven't heard you, and Tim, doing so well in a long time. So the radio season's upon us. Dean, you were asking about 40-meter frequencies. Yeah, last night, I don't know if it's a two-dayer, but there was a 40-meter digital trash contest. So there was a lot of digital trash talking, and it was tough to find a spot for CW anywhere above 30. I didn't go up high into 7.1 or anything like that, 7.1, 7.150, but down low it was just packed with the with noise. So good luck with Bruce Kelly. I'll twiddle a dial and give a listen, see if I can copy anybody. Well, the ART-13, big signal into Rhode Island today. I don't think you've got a connection problem. It's a mic game. You got that up so high, I think I hear the cat breathing. So good sounding ART-13. Nice to hear it in here, and the dynamotor sounds like you're at about 10,000 feet right now. So good stuff to hear that. So I'll turn it over to I think it's Kevin. I send it to WB0JZG W2ILA.
Nope. Send it to George and then over to Tim. WB2HJK. Go ahead and then send it over to Tim when you're done, George. Over.
Roger, will do. And good morning, all. I want to greet all and be among those who wish each other are going, and we just sacrifice. Words, I relinquish it over to Tim. And again, thank you, Steve. You're doing a beautiful job as net control, as always. And again, my 73 to all of you. Whiskey Bravo 2, Hotel Japan Kilo, clear, 73. Tim, please pick it up.
Okay, George, WB2HJK, and the old military radio, WA1H, YLR, for a change, I'm hearing you. So, yeah, very, very good band conditions. Well, as they say, winter radio season. It'll be this way for a little while, and then the noise and garbage will pick up. I've been spending a lot more time on farty at night rather than 75. Depends on the time frames. Yeah, hearing about the Bruce Kelly event, I'm not into things like that particularly, but it reminds me I'd love to make some space in here to bring in the SBE rig and get it up and running. Same thing with my R13. I think I know what the problem is, but I have a whole myriad of projects going on other than ham radio projects until the snow begins to fly. So Larry, I guess you're going to be in Saco Bango. Yeah, I wish I had the time to just get in the car and drive down, but have to have a place to crash for the night, you know, and that kind of thing. And back in the day when I was a whole lot younger and whatnot. Jeez. Well, the place is a wreck. I just went through, I wouldn't call it a rebuild, but redoing the electrical infrastructure in my studio so that it's less JS and all that. So a little bit at a time, I guess, is how you have to look at it. Yep, gonna be a busy day today. Gonna be a busy day. I acquired a vehicle that needs a fair amount of work to get it up and running. A 1998 Toilet Oda 4Runner, complete with snowplow, I got from a buddy of mine, with the alternator seized up and the belt broke and all that. It was quite an adventure getting it from the town of Norwich to up here, but it's been sitting outside here, and they've got a lot of things opened up and pulled apart, and the new alternator physically mounted, and the belt in place and all that. And I got to put the power steering belt back on and hook up the after I get the alternator hooked up, hook up the radiator hoses and all that kind of thing, and put the battery in and start it up, and it should go. I'd be able to move it around at least up here. Oh, that's just another project, and then I acquired another home. Yep. You might say it looks like a trailer because it's on a trailer frame, but it's an actual small house, and that's parked down at Oh My God Corner, and that's gonna be a project that'll take a fair amount of time to get together the right way, but it's a means to a good end. So that arrived yesterday, plus my antenna work that I've been wanting to do but can't do it because all these other intervening doing projects on a cutter. God, I tell you. Well, this morning the only piece of military gear I'm using is a BC-342 receiver, and people talk about maintenance. Well, I modified the thing, got it working the way I wanted, and hasn't had as the old buzzards would say, brr, it hasn't had a lick of trouble. So it keeps soldiering on. The only thing I notice is the calibration has drifted a bit over the years, and the skirt selectivity, which was never great, is so it has to be moved over to the work table and powered up and see if I can tweak the IF a bit and see if I can't narrow up. The thing I'm curious, obviously, trimmers or Comet micas. What I've understood, like the year mica can get leaky. You know, of course, when they get leaky, that DQ tuned circuit, the IF can, and causes it to get broad. So I'd have to figure that one out. And replacing low on the priority list. It's the story, T. I guess I'm at the ass end of this thing. YLR.
Okay, I got Alpha Charlie 8 Foxtrot Lima, John, and there's another station behind John. Heard you too, Chris. The other station?
KK4RF.
Yeah, and the other one out here, Steve, was KF9KU. It was Gil.
Okay, very good. Very good. Probably heard him when you unkeyed. What's Gil's call? K9KFU. Okay. And, okay. I'll pick you guys right up. John, AC8FL, AJ1G, over to Marty, KK4RF, to Gil, K9KFU. Let me just do one thing. Anyone else after Gil want to join?
Okay, I think I may have missed it. Do I have it, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
All right, very good. Good copy on that one. KD3HT and the old military radio net. This is AC8FL, John, in Fenton, Michigan, about 25 miles due south of Flint here. Just been listening for a few minutes. Pretty good copy on Tim, HLR. Real weak copy on, I think it was George before that, and Tom, ILA, was doing pretty good out here into Michigan. So 30 degrees this morning. We're supposed to go up into mid-40s, and actually the weather's looking pretty good for the next week here. We're generally staying above freezing and getting some sunshine, which is always welcome this time of year, and not very common, I would say, in the wintertime here. So anyway, running the Saturday morning setup with the T368 transmitter here, the antennas, the usual, the link coupled tuner, open wire feeders to a dipole at about 40 feet, and receiving on the R390A. So, hey, thanks for getting me in late here, Steve. Better late than never, and good morning to everybody on frequency. So, I think I'm sending it to AJ1G, if I've got it right there. Go ahead and take it. This is AC8FL, Fenton, Michigan.
Yeah, okay, AC8FL, Flint, Michigan, AJ1G. Chris in Stonington, Connecticut, where it's 41 degrees. Nice late fall morning here. On the DX100, listening on the Scott SLRM, among other things. And happy Veterans Day And so all the veterans on the net, I'm sure there are at least a few. AJ1G, thank you for your service, and for all of those out there celebrating today that are still with us. And I'll keep it short. Still a lot of people in here. I just want to comment. I just got down here to hear Paul's ART-13, and Paul, it sounds very good, crisp, plenty of audio. Yeah, you got to get the microphone away from that dynamotor if you can, or throw a blanket over it or something. Man, it is loud. It does has a different sound than the DY17A here on the ART-13 here. I wonder what sort of output you're getting on it. I'll be doing the pre-net for the Lonely Guy starting at 7:15 down on 3875. And I'm going to, let's see, who picks it up next? I'm not sure. Maybe Marty, but I'll turn it back to you, Steve. And Steve, thanks for running the net as always. Everyone have a great weekend. KD3.
Okay, go ahead, Marty. Before you go, Marty, the last station to check in.
E1, that E1.
PYE? E1, PY. Okay. KMO Golf, and then Victor Yankee. So go ahead, Marty. Katie.
Kate, this is KK4, 35 minutes. The name here is Mark. I'm located in southeastern LMAC transmit, the old LMAC. I think it's the original LMAC A54H through a Heathkit linear amplifier for about 100 watts of carrier, and receiving with a Heathkit SP300 receiver. I'll just say good morning to everybody on the net. There's too many on the list here, so we're going to be doing some watching college football today. Penn State plays Michigan. Should be a good game. And also have a radio club meeting to go to, and I'm hoping to get into the Bruce Kelly thing later on tonight. We'll see what happens. I've got a Hartley oscillator that I use. Anyway, I'll send it on to Gil, K9, KFU, and the old military radio net. This is KK4RF.
Okay, I could not copy very well, Steve, when you were given the list. So hopefully hearing me, so I'm going to have difficulty. KKRF, KF9KU. I did hear that station fairly well. This is Gil. I'm 60 miles north of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The radio today is a Yaesu FT101 Echo, followed up with an AL811H amplifier, and doing a lot, the carrier. Yeah, what a better day to check into the military radio net and honor the veterans. We certainly thank you for your service. I've been up, I was listening on my newly acquired Night Kit Star Roamer in the dining room, and everybody coming in quite well, except now the band has turned, and that's why I've got a little difficulty, Steve. I hope you can hear me, because I'm sorry, but I tried to write down everybody's call, and I could not hear you when you made the last list. So please pass it on for me. KD3HT, this is KF9KU. Good morning, all.
Okay, Gil. Good signal here on the FT101. And the other station, I apologize. I just got the suffix KG. Please go ahead, and then you can turn it to Jason, VE1PYE. It'll be tail end Charlie here today. So go ahead, station. I don't know. Was that you, Ross, that was in there?
Ross, are you in there? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Running the ART-13 here this morning with the R392. Happy Veterans Day to those to who that applies, and I guess all the rest of us for that matter. And my Heathkit SB610 scope blew up this week and started arcing, so I need to fix that. I can't see my modulation, so I hope I'm getting out. Anyhow, I guess that's about it from here. I just wanted to jump in and say hello. Maybe we'll catch you on the Lonely Guys. I'll be helping my wife load her vehicle. She's going away for a few days, and want to be able to make sure that I'm there to help. So with that, I don't know who it goes to, but back to Ned, I guess. This is W1EKG 73, everybody.
Okay, Ross. Yeah, I recognized your voice, but it was in the midst of a bunch of stuff, signals here, so that's why I thought it was you. Jason, are you there? VE1PYE. Go ahead, KD3HT.
Go ahead, Steve. He turned it back to you.
Thanks, Dean. Yep, sorry, Jason. Didn't, no real, I see your carrier, but no real audio here this morning, but we got you on the list. Well, that's a big net, 28 check-ins this morning, and a lot of people came in at the end. Thank you. And, yep, happy veterans to all the people who have served, and, of course, to people that served in the past. And I wish everyone have a great weekend. And yep, make the best of it. Brown is in Rhode Island, but was elsewhere going to a benefit or a meeting this morning, so wasn't able to make it. So everyone have a great week. And we'll look for you again next weekend. Tom, thanks for picking up Jason for me. I did not hear him. He got mixed in with all the other signals. But the end of the list, Larry, Tom, even George. George's signal was great. Tim, your signal was great down here. John was real strong. Chris, of course, strong. Marty, very strong. Gil was fine copy. Ross was strong, and then Jason was just carrier here, very little audio. So we'll look for everybody next and at 0500 on or about 3885 Saturday mornings, and wish everybody a great 73 all. So this is KD3HT signing clear with the old military radio net. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Steve, this is KK1K. I neglected to mention that at noon today is the anniversary celebration of the Moose and Squirrel Net, which as always we try to get on or about on the 11th of November. So anybody that's on frequency, especially if you've got a PRC 47, it'd be fun to hear you at noon today on 60 meters channel 3. 7-3s, thanks for the net control.
Boisterous.